it's Morwenna here and welcome to my studio in Somerset. Welcome if you're new here and welcome back if you've been here before. It's lovely to see you, lovely to see you. So my self-imposed deadline of uploading a new episode every 2 weeks slipped the last time because I had zero energy. I was totally wiped out, number of reasons, and I just thought, you know what, it's fine. I don't have the energy level to do it, so I'm going to let that go and then move on to the next episode, which does mean that I've got loads of things to catch up with you on. And also it means I've got a lot of content for upcoming episodes. Lots of exciting things, I think, interesting places and research and yeah, all that kind of stuff. But we'll start with a little catch up on my projects. I have been making slow progress on the cardigan that I am knitting, which is this one. Beautiful cardigan. So that is coming along slowly. I will just show you where I've got to. So it's here. So I've got a couple more rows done. I'm a slow knitter and I'm nearly, so I've got one more pattern repeat to do, and then it'll be about the right time to be adding in the sleeves. So I don't quite understand the pattern, so I'm going to need to reread it and then probably get some help with how to do that. And then I think once it's blocked, it's going to stretch out a bit more. But that's coming along really nicely, so that's progressing really well. And the yarn I'm using is it's Elements West Yorkshire Spinners, because I already had this yarn. So I'm using this, and this is in Cherry Blossom, and this is with a 4mm needle. So that's coming along, so that's good news. My monkey, zero progress, zero. I think, well, I've been so interested in getting this done, and I found, I just didn't have the time really to do this, and I've been away and do monkey. So monkey is currently sitting on the back burner. He will get picked up again and I will finish his cardigan and do a little video because I've got ideas on how I want that to work. Maybe that is slightly putting me off because I'm being too ambitious again, but we'll see. So that's the knitting, the current ones. As usual, I've got some other things in the pipeline I want to make. Do I tell you about those now or do I wait? Oh, that's tricky. I kind of want to do both. I'm going to share a snippet because last week I went to Cornwall for the week to see family and also to stay in Cornwall, visit some different places, that sort of thing. And I had an idea to there's a couple of projects I want to make. You can tell that I'm thinking as I'm talking because I haven't planned out really in detail what I was gonna chat to you about. So my brain is a bit all over the place, but it's again probably not surprising because been away, my mind is so full of holidayness and all the places we visited and all the ideas I've got now, and it needs a little bit of sorting, a bit more sorting out. Let's go to the two projects that I've bought some yarn for. So I need to backtrack a little bit, because I think, as with most of the things that I get interested in or that I want to make, they've got a story. There never seems to be a straightforward, I'm just going to make this thing and that's it. I like to have a story that goes with what I'm creating. So I will give a little sneak of the things that are on my wish list, making list, and I will dip back to those because both of them have got more stories to them. So this is just a quick thing. On the way back from Cornwall on Saturday, we stopped off at Blacker Yarns and Launceston because they were having a special open event where you could go into their shop and have a look at their yarn, and yeah, it was lovely, and it coincided with us coming back from Cornwall. So I've got had a nice bag, Blacker Yarns bag, and the reason why I wanted to stop there was two reasons really. The first one was because a while ago I came across a knitting pattern called Morwenna, a shawl called Morwenna, and I thought, well, I'm really going to have to make this, aren't I? And I'd seen it online, an online version, and I'd got a digital, I did a screenshot of it because it's in the Knitter magazine. And then I was trying to find a hard copy of the shawl, and I mentioned to a friend of mine because in the previous episode I'd managed to find a hard copy of the cardigan that I'm currently making in a charity shop in Petersfield. So I asked a friend of mine who lives there if she would mind popping in to see if they had a copy of the magazine. Unfortunately they didn't, but she had a plan, and the plan was, Alison, thank you so much for this, she found a copy on eBay and got it for me, and it arrived the day before we set off for Cornwall. So this is the pattern, the shawl. It's called Morwenna. As you can see, it hasn't got the H in it like my name, but there you go. And it's by Alison. I think that's so right. Hopefully I've got that right. And it's a 2-colour shawl that's knitted in a lace weight yarn. So I'd come across this and I thought, oh, I'd really like to make that. And it uses short rows, which I'm currently learning in the cardigan I'm making. And I thought I would really like to use a Cornish yarn to make this scarf. And I'd already heard about Blacker Yarns. I'm not quite sure how I'd come across them, but when I was looking on their website, I discovered they had a yarn called Tamar. This is where it gets into a bit of a story. So the Tamar is a river that runs, it pretty much is the border between Devon and Cornwall, and it also starts at Morwenna and it runs to Plymouth. And this is linked for me to the story of Morwenna and the fact that, it was about 10 years ago, I did a really long journey and I followed in the footsteps of St Morwenna from the Brecon Beacons down to Morwenna. So it's linked to that. I think that almost needs a separate episode on its own. So this is just a little snip of what's going on in my brain. So the Tamar yarn, I thought that's going to be perfect to make the Morwenna shawl. So I looked on the Blacker Yarns website. I watched a really great interview with them on Fruity Knitting. I'll put the link below. And I just really loved the fact that it was using a lot of their wool is made using wool from within their area. Some of the merino obviously comes from further afield, that comes from the Falkland Islands, but their pure wool range, the fleeces come from within the area of Cornwall and perhaps some in Devon. And so when I saw that they had a sort of an open day on the Saturday, I'm like, right, we've got to try, see if we can stop in on the way back. And we did. And the lady, Camilla, who was so helpful, so helpful. So I sent her originally a copy of the one page of the pattern to try and figure out whether the Tamar yarn would work, because like I said, this actually uses a lace weight, but figured out actually the 4-ply would be okay, that would work. So I got some yarn, and after much deliberation, the yarn I got for this project, there is other yarn, but I'm going to wait, I'm saving that for another chat, is these two. Aren't they lovely? So I think I'll do this in the main, this will be the main colour, and then I have the green as the stripes. So that's what I'm going to make once I've finished once I've finished the cardigan. But there's a lot of other bits sort of tied into this story, but this is just a little snippet. And this has got in it, let's see, can I see what it's got? So it's 100% British wool. It's got a nice bit of a luster to it. So yeah, I was just really excited about getting those. So that was unplanned. I wasn't going to talk about the wool just yet, but there we go. I got too excited. But I'm going to save the other yarns that I bought from them for the next episode, because really this episode was supposed to be about going to Butser Ancient Farm to celebrate Beltane, and that is in Hampshire, and it was great. It was so interesting. So I've been to Beltane before in Edinburgh, and that was quite a few years ago now. And then I have wanted to go to Butser for a while, and we made it this year. So I didn't take loads of photos because we were just enjoying the atmosphere too much. So there is a little bit, and then I did visit the farm originally the first time in 2023. So I've also included some photos at the end from that visit, just so you get an idea of what's there. They had loads of really interesting talks, and one of them was about sheep and spinning and weaving during Anglo-Saxon times, which I found very interesting indeed. They had a massive wicker man this year, which they do every year, but this year it was based on the archer that was found not that long ago in Almesbury, and that was fantastic. And they've also made, Butser Hill made a lovely video highlighting all the things that happened during the Beltane. So I'll also include that down below, because it's a really great event. And when we were there, I did buy a new tool. I bought this. Do you know what this is? Some of you will probably be familiar with these. So this, I like this little thing, is a Lucet. And I had this on the side with it. It's a Viking style lucette for making cords or braids. And this one was made from oak remnants from the Saxon house. And that was really what sold it to me, because not only is it an interesting braiding tool, it's also made from a piece of Butser Ancient Farm. So I bought that. And I've had a go already with making the braid. So this is the first one I did, and it creates a really cool square type braid. This is my first attempt. It's not perfectly even, but I think it's pretty good. And I can see lots of applications for this. So I'm going to look forward to using this more in different projects. I've done a little demonstration video, and I'm sure there's lots more that are more proficient with the demonstration videos, but I thought I would just show you how I have started to use it. So we're gonna have a look at that, and then after the little demo video we'll go straight into video and photos from the Beltane at Butser Farm from this year. And then that'll be this week's episode. before I start looking at what's coming up next time, because I've got the other yarn I bought from Blacker Yarns to share with you. I've got my Fisherman's Gansey project that I'm working on. I've got my family tree research, which has been uncovering some really interesting details, and I've got all of that sort of stuff to share with you as well. So I've got, yeah, there's quite a lot. And there was some really lovely places we went to in Cornwall. So we visited the Greek seal sanctuary, and yeah. Okay, I'm getting carried away, I'm getting excited. So what we'll do, back to the Lucet, and then Butser Ancient Farm, and then I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Okay, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! I'm going to have a go at showing you how to use the Lucet tool. The original Lucettes that they found were actually made of bone, and I'm not sure exactly when this sort of design started to appear. I'll include some links below with some of the research that's been done into this tool and the experimental archaeology that was done to figure out how it actually worked, which I found really interesting. So as I showed you just now, here's the braid that I've made already, and I'm not sure if you can see that. It creates a nice square braid. I'm going to have a go at showing you how to use it. Like I said, there's lots of different tutorials on the internet, and I'm very new to using it. Okay, I've got a bag, so you can use all kinds of yarns, and I have seen some people using embroidery threads, but I've got a load of tapestry wools, so I'm going to use one of those. And I'm going to use the same colour of the braid I've already made, because I've got some handy. So you take your Lucet, this is a right-handed technique, and you put the Lucet in your left hand, and then you put the leader through there, and then you take it and wrap it around like this. And then you basically put that over the top, pull it, twist it, put that over the top, give it a little pull, twist it. Just see it's starting to braid. Trying to keep it in the center. It's not easy to actually do the demo. Probably because of my setup. So you keep twisting, turning, and you get into a bit of a rhythm. And I'm sure with practice, be able to get a nice, even braid. And you can use this for all kinds of things really, drawstrings on bags, bracelets, anything where you would want to use a cord. So you can see as I'm getting a bit better, I'm getting a nicer even. This is a bit loose here. But as you go, you can tighten it up. So that's how it works. And then you can see how it's being created. So probably not the best tutorial, but gives you an idea of how it works. And this one I did without trying to demonstrate it, and you can see it's much tighter, much neater, because I was sitting down. I was in a better position. But that is pretty cool, I think. Have you used one of these? Let me know if you've used one of these before and what things you've made with it. It'd be interesting to try different materials, different thicknesses of yarn, and yeah, what other things could be used. Cool.